All right, we accidentally hit live a little early, but hats off to Martian for volunteering his T-Mobile hotspot. So I think we're up and running as a result. So, yay! We are in the first round of the gold bracket. We made it through pool play as the second seed. And just about to it'll be the last match of the day. So stay in gold to move on. And then come back tomorrow for more tournament action. All of yesterday's snow has pretty much melted off, but we got maybe some more on the way, and the mercury set to plummet into the single digits overnight. So a taste of real winter. Hopefully it's only a light taste, more of an appetizer, not a full main course. Time will tell. All right, the boys 2-1 yesterday. All three going to 3 sets. 2-0 today. Back to the good old-fashioned sweeps. As much as I like the extra drama and third set, affairs, turned out I was pretty smitten with being back to our sweeping ways. All right, again. Thanks to Martin for making room for us on his T-Mobile Wi-Fi. Using the hotspot there. We got to track us one of those down. I was rebuffed by management earlier in the week. My appropriations request was denied, but I feel so self-actualized and empowered. I'm just going to go grab one myself, as long as they forget about that unpaid bill from 1976 that they were trying to hold against me last time. Tried to do the same. All right. We are about ready to get underway here. Let's get ready to rumble. Oh. All right. Double shout out to my lovely wife, Charity. Amazing job yesterday with the Salsarita catering and other assorted delights. Made for a fun evening. Exactly. Hello. Hopefully somebody's out there. Has anybody heard back? Is there a stream?
I sent somebody a message. I'll find out.
Okay. Yeah. Unfortunately, I didn't bring a third device to see if I can figure out how the stream health looks.
I'll check mine.
All right, I've actually remembered to turn on the huddle.
It says good stream.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Thank you, Anna.
Thank you, Martin. Martin. Marching without the G. I'll get it right eventually. All right, hopefully we can talk him into providing that tomorrow as well, because I don't think I was getting anything worth a darn. We are underway, though. Out to the blonde bomber. That's off the block and captured. Nice swing there, but wide. That is going to be a net violation. Now, I didn't see who was in it, but I saw the net moving like a catfish on a line. It was struggling to break free. Okay. Point GSL. I think these cats are out of Utah, if I read the thingy correctly. Not sure where. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that stands for Great Salt Lake, though, maybe? In which case, I would gather that's probably in the vicinity of Salt Lake. Pure speculation on my part. Lovely area of the country, though. Had a great time in Moab. I think Riley may owe his very existence to some of the scenic beauty there, but that's a story for another time. Probably another place. Off the block and out of play, points. C2 attack. 2 serving 1 now for the Blonde Bomber. Looks to runner back, kicks and fires. Oh, nice. I thought that was going to be an ace, but they got it over, only to be harvested by Parker. Parker nearly concussed, the voice of C2 Attack and the Blonde Bomber Sports Networks. But that's okay. I've got a base for radio. No damage done. A little blurry vision, but I'm not even sure that's from the ball. Can't remember the score at all either. 4 serving 1. Rizzy with another big swing. Hey, hey. How are you? Back row, he was over the line if they saw it. No call and a dig by GSL. Out to Josh. Nice swing there. Josh has been absolutely in fuego. I wish a happy 18th birthday to Eduardo Campo, too. Rousey banging that down the line. Nicely done. Josh with the block. Another point. I'd like to shout out the festive Christmas sweater of our R1. I think that's visible in the screen. You might have to zoom a little bit or squint, whichever. Coleman, nice up. Back to Jakai. Did he touch the line? Yes. Ball lands just on the outer fractile. Not even sure that's a word used correctly in context, but we're going to assume it is. Point C2, they're rolling. Timeout on the floor. Club Giselle wants to talk about it.
The stream is so good, she sees the pattern on the Christmas sweater.
Oh, nice. Okay, I was just commenting on that. So excellent. Well, Anna, glad to hear that our fuzzy Christmas sweater for the R1 is coming through loud and proud and clear. All right, timeout drawing to a close. The team's wandering back onto the courts. That's my verb of the day. The first time I think I've had teams wander. 7-1. The Blonde Bomber. Boom. Nice up by the lid, but an overpass. Harvested by Jakai. And the harvest is good this year. 8-1. Riley's got I guess went clubbing last night. I don't know. He's got a stamp on his thigh. I'm not sure. Parker. Oh, okay. It's actually a back row attack on Giselle. As Parker had thrown that down, but they got it up, and then apparently the back row player chundered it over. A little bit of an ongoing conversation about that. 9-1. Probably takes a little bit off of that one. Off the block. Josh gets that up and stays out of the net. Colin with a nice, he is probably under, but no call. Ball is blasted into the abyss, though, and it'll be a point for Great Salt Lake. I'm going to go out on a limb and just call him that. That's wrong. It stands for something else. Too bad. I'm not correcting it. I have no way of finding out. Probably Josh watched that one land closer to the bench than to the court. Point C2, Colin back to serve. Blocked back. Rory and Jakai forming the impenetrable wall. Jakai got the lion's share of that. Colin with the overmatch. I think he was in front of the 10-foot line, so when he went to the two-hand set look, somebody should have known the jig was up, but they fell for it hook, line, and sinker. That is shelled out of bounds. GSL wants a touch call. They're not getting it. And C2 with a commanding lead in this one, to be honest. Off of Rory's block, but well out of play. Point Utah. Solid, nice pass. On the shoot, that's blocked back though. Point Great Salt Lake. Won't use the Bostonian pronunciation. Might put the wrong emphasis on the wrong syllable. Out to Jakai. That's blocked back and down off Jakai on the way out. Great Salt Lake on a three-point run. I'm mesmerized by the coach of GSL and his keen fashion sense. I think he's tucked his pants into his socks, if I'm seeing this correctly. And yeah, praying that does not catch on, if that is in fact a fashion trend. Could be he's got some crazy case of poison ivy he's trying to deal with. I don't know. All right, Great Salt Lake on a bit of a run here. They've collected a handful of points. Let's see how many. They're trailing at 6-14. I'm not going to say the boys have lost focus, but it looked like they lost a little bit of focus. Got it back there. Lefty throwdown. That'll bring Jakai. Jakai sporting the fresh too. R1 has a little booster table. Out to the blonde bomber. Oh, straight down. He nearly detonated the libero. Apparently he's been working on curling some of those shots. Takes the velocity off, but puts a little bit of side spin and angle variation. That one was not the case. That was hammered straight down. No, that was, yes, that was Rory make that with the block, teaming up with Josh. And that's the last straw. Timeout, GSL. And that'll be their allotment for the set. C2 clubbing them like a baby harp sail on Arctic ice. It's 17-6. Zakai with the soft touch jumpy. That is batted down and in. And a point for GSL. Detesting the feel of prosperity. The ops serve into the net. Rory back to serve. There's a size 24 shoe. It's like a water ski on his foot. Good Lord, that was into the lower tape and it barely got there. Took a little bit off of that one. I mean, almost all of it. Out to Briley, boom. Just a bit outside. Tipped over, swatted back. Reload, though, coming for GSL. That's also blocked. Dug out of the net. And, oh, nice wipe off the blocker. Josh with the heads-up play, making things happen from the oppo pin. Setter Josh now, back to serve. Nice one-handed set, but it gets tied out by the candy cane. Who touched it last? Apparently, Great Salt Lake is called as off of them. Council. We're going to get the whole fam family together and talk about this one. R2 called over. The line judge was called over. That question is, who touched it? You know, it went off the candy cane and was out of bounds at that point, but was that off a C2 player or off of a Great Salt Lake player? And the answer comes point C2, so GSL touched it last prior to licking the candy cane. Yummy, peppermint. Down the line, Colin, one-handed stab, keeps it up. Zakai with the cover. Briley has that swatted back. Colin's going to be caught. No, net violation. I thought maybe Colin was underneath, but the Utah guys into the net. All right, Julian back to serve. Gonna go with the floaty. Oh, that's off the net cord. Kicked up by the Utah player just before it hit the floor. Tries to go hard cross. The only vector he had is Great Salt Lake attacker was well outside the antenna. It fails to clear though. Point C2, whoever those guys are. Julian back to serve again. Oh, that one actually looks like it was going to be brilliant, but just didn't quite have enough height when it got to the net. Point for the ops. They'll serve, trailing by, well, a truckload. On the X, probably with the roly-poly. That's covered by the bro. Off Riley's block and down. With a nice up. Julian dishes that out to Riley, but a net violation will stop things in their tracks, and that will do it. Set 1 goes to C2. They win 25 to something considerably less than 25. Set 2 coming up. that guy's going to. Oh, it did turn off though. So
Oh, that's okay.
I was trying to wave to him.
I see.
All right, a near miss devastates the iPad next to us, but 13-6 now. We're in set 2, first round of bracket play here at the boys Winter Invitational. Winter being the operative word, the mercury plunging tonight.
Makes the licking and keeps on ticking.
Absolutely. Robust. On Sunday, Cleveland. 16, 10 to 16 more correctly as GSL puts that into play. Riley from the outside splits the block, I think, and puts that down. The blonde bomber having his way. A shout out to Bridgie, just 4 or 5 sleeps until you're home, girl. We can't wait to see you. If you're listening, if you're not, well, you won't know. Overpass harvested by righty Josh. Well, that was unconventional but effective. Point Utah. They'll go back to serve. They're trailing by a minivan full.
Winter showcase this night.
Oh, he said he liked it. I think he's happy anytime he gets some reps in. So it's like, whatever, I got to hit the ball. So, yeah. Bring it on. Did Logan go that?
He did. I didn't like how they did it, though, how they grouped the boys together based on seeding the teams.
Oh, is that what they did? Because they mentioned how they were going to do something weirdish, and I was like, I wonder what that means. And I was planning to be out here to watch it, and then next thing I know, him and Isaac are loading up and going together, and I'm like, oh, I forget I'm no longer needed.
Around, like, you know, to get not people a fair shot.
Yeah, that's that especially in something like that where you got such individuals, you can have some really good players on some average teams or whatever, and that's almost made it sound like they were going to group based on some other. I don't know how they, if you don't know them, how do you do that other than getting the metrics that
Seeding at the tournament.
Yeah, that's.
They said they would move some people around and stuff. I don't know. Logan thought it did pretty good on the skill score. They didn't move him based off of that. But he's still struggling with that leg.
Oh, okay.
So it's like this up and down, trying to figure out how much can he tolerate.
Yeah. Load management. That's the other thing. I don't know that, it's our first experiment with it, but I have, taking less impact. Oh, really? Yeah. not so rusty and
Right,
whatever.
right.
Actually, seeing some of the benefits of the C2 model, it's actually like,
Right.
that's not so bad.
Right.
You gotta figure out how to stay sharp between tournaments.
Well, I don't really think that it was this was me, but I think it was together. I mean, if like with that one document, what did he this year?
I don't know. We had some churn this year, you know. It just seems like every year there's something happening. Greener bacteria. No. If I understood correctly, there were a couple of seniors Riley that are not reclassing settlement. Some people are going to graduate. I thought so. I could be wrong. I may have misunderstood. True, yeah. You'll repeat now. It's an interesting one. It is what it is. All right. Yeah. Good to see you. Stay tomorrow. All right. C2 17 Elite taking care of business here. First round of the gold bracket. That's going to be a wrap for today. Big shout out to Martin for loaning us his Wi-Fi hotspot. We're actually able to get a stream out. Big shout out to AT&T for continuing to suck. And we've got to make that change. Us and Michael Jackson. Anywho, we're going to sign off. And everybody stay warm and play in the snow if you get a chance, but don't get stuck in the snow. We'll see you tomorrow. Probably bright and early in the morning. Until then, we are signing off.